Good afternoon. I am Dr. Chris Cates, and I'm running for Congress. And I want to tell you, I brought a visual aid, but I'll talk about that in a minute. I want to tell you several things about me. Number one, I am a recent grandfather. My granddaughter was born 5 days ago, and that's one of the reasons I'm running for Congress, my first grandchild. I am also a small business owner that my wife and I created a business from scratch that is now one of the largest employers in a county, 2 counties over, 3 counties over, in North Georgia. And today I wrote a check, probably unlike most candidates in this race, to the federal government to keep jobs in place in our county and in our district, to pay tax to keep our business open because of the depreciation allowance and other things within our business. And so I understand the issues of small business owners. The third thing I am is I'm an interventional cardiologist, and I am not a career politician. I have served the people of the 9th District for about 25 years as the heart doctor in Blairsville, Hiawassee, Dahlonega. I started the cath lab at Lanier Park Hospital in Gainesville. And most recently, I've been the head of vascular intervention. That's the stent guys at Emory University. Before that, I was at St. Joe's in charge of research. And I trained all the people at the Ronnie Green Heart Center in Gainesville and took care of most people up here that have had heart disease over the years. But I'm the sitting vice president of all the interventional cardiologists in the United States. And I'm about to be president of that organization. And for the last year and a half, I've been fighting this health care bill that was just passed. This is only half of it. I got the other half over there because people have never seen it, and there's nothing good about this bill. And I want to tell you a story because people ask me, what on earth are you doing running for Congress, being a famous heart doctor and a business owner? Well, I'll tell you the story. About 9 months ago, in July, I was up in Washington with my colleagues who are the presidents and vice presidents of all the major medical societies, and we were up there dealing with a guy by the name of Steny Hoyer. Have you ever heard of him? He's a majority leader of the House of Representatives. And we were up there saying, Mr. Hoyer, we're the doctors in America. We know their problems with health care. We know how to fix them. Please talk to us. We want to fix health care the right way, focusing on the patient. Don't just ram this thing through like you did the stimulus. Let's do it together. Let's focus on the patient. Because the stimulus was 1,000 pages, $1 trillion. Nobody read it, and there was bad stuff in it. Health care is 1 out of 5 jobs in America. In this district, it's bigger than that. It's 18% of GDP, but more importantly, it touches everybody's life. We're all patients. And we're the undisputed best in the world. So we said, Mr. Hoyer, let's work together and let's fix health care, focusing on the patient. You know what he said to us? I can't say here in public with ladies present, but I can paraphrase it and say, he said, you doctors better get on board or we're going to crush you. He said, we've been trying to do this for 40 years, not for 3 weeks. We're going to do this with or without you. I'm not going to read it. We're going to pass it. You guys better get on board or get out of the way. Well, at that moment, we all knew.
You needed a new career.
Yeah, it wasn't about health. It wasn't about care. It wasn't about quality. It certainly wasn't about patience. It was about control. And we were watching the biggest power grab in the history of our nation. And I must say, I was kind of depressed coming back to Georgia after that. But a good friend of mine who used to run Medicare, her name's Dr. Gail Walensky. She was in the Bush 1 White House, and Nancy Ann DeParle is in the current White House as the healthcare czar and ran Medicare. And she and I put on the cost-effective meeting for healthcare for the American College of Cardiology for 20 years. So we were talking about healthcare and quality and measuring quality and reducing costs 20 years ago before Bill Clinton went into office. And I told that story that I told you about Steny Hoyer, and she said, Chris, you don't understand. You're not going to make a difference even as the president of cardiology. You want to make a difference? It's going to cost you. You want to make a difference, become the only cardiologist in the Congress of the United States, because you would scare the living daylights out of these bureaucracy people that you've been dealing with for 20 years. And my wife and I started thinking about that. As business owners, as a doctor, as an American, I went to the Citadel. I believe in duty, honor, God, and country. And our country has been taken over by a bunch of career politicians. And the last thing we need in Washington is another career politician. Our country was founded, our founding fathers were all best at what they did in America. And they took time out of their life to run for Congress, to lead, to pass laws, to read the bills, and then, more importantly, to come back and live under the laws they created, not have a whole set of laws for them and somebody else. And what we've got now is a bunch of career politicians who've never had a job, who've never created a job. They're talking about their jobs bill and this and that, and they've never actually done it. So how, if everybody's going to be looking at this district to see how we vote, are we going to vote another career politician into office? Or are we going to vote leaders who have been leaders in the community like our founding fathers thought and had envisioned? And that, my friends, is why I'm running for Congress instead of sitting on a beach. I don't need it. I don't want it any more than our troops need or want to go to Iraq and Afghanistan. But I want our country back, and with your help on May 11th, we'll send a message to Washington. Send a real, they need a doctor in the House. They don't need another career politician. So help me do that. Thank you very much. And I enjoyed meeting you, and we'll see you around on the campaign trail.